Today, Neelix's reign of terror comes to an end. It's been so long. 7 years of Neelix, but he finally goes away. It's been so long. It's been a long road, in fact, getting from there to here. It basically might as well be the finale of Voyager. We're almost there. The second episode. We have to put up with 2 episodes of Neelix, and then he's gone. It's done. Okay. The weather is okay. We're getting into summer, so it's definitely warmer than I would like. I do miss the days of 58 degrees. 56, 54, somewhere like mid-50s. What are today's episodes? Natural Law, where they get kidnapped on the way to a conference, or they crash on the way to a conference. You never go to a conference. It's a bad plan. Do any of the newer shows have one of those plots? I don't remember Discovery doing the kidnapped on a way to a conference trope. I don't think Strange New Worlds has. They should really do that.
I went to a conference once.
Did you get kidnapped?
No, but after that, Corona broke out, so there might be a connection.
Okay. Yeah, conferences are bad. Then Homestead, where Neelix dies. And then the episode that's really hard to spell, Renaissance Man, which is just all the other actors pretending to be Robert Picardo. There's a good amount of Robert Picardo as well, but we also get like Kate Mulgrew being Robert Picardo. We get... What's Chakotay's name? Robert... something. We get Chakotay's actor pretending to be Robert Picardo. We get the other Robert... Wait, does the other Robert? Does Tom pretend to be Robert Picardo? A lot of people pretend to be Robert Picardo. I think we get some Roxanne Dawson pretending to be Robert Picardo. It's all good. But first is Natural Law, which... it feels very TNG Season 7. It's like it's competently made. It's a decent enough episode. But it's also kind of like... Is this... like they maybe are running out of ideas a little bit. But that's okay. Because we're right at the end. Renaissance Man, though, is by far the best episode today. Renaissance Man is great.
Can never have too much Picardo.
Robert Picardo, Robert Duncan McNeil. What is Chakotay's actor's name? Who is he? Why can't I remember his name? I know it's in my brain. Robert Beltran, that's what it is. There's so many Roberts. Anyway, so what have y'all been up to? How's, real life?
Finishing my doctorate.
Cool. What in?
Biomedical engineering.
Oh, not Star Trek? Not like film?
Unfortunately not, though. It does involve holograms.
Ooh. Fancy. How do you feel about Star Trek medicine where the solution, as lampshaded in Lower Decks, is wave a light over it? Do you think we're going to get to that level? Or are we already at that level? What are you hiding from us?
The nanites, maybe nanites, but waving light at it, probably not.
Why are you hiding the light from us?
It's mine.
God, Gollum impressions. Look, Gollum impressions are something I'm actually really good at, but I'm always too embarrassed to do, so you'll never hear it.
Well, precious.
I'm also really good at doing his walk, the way he goes on all fours, and like, how did you even describe it? He like hops.
Like monkey walk?
No, not even. He goes sideways like a crab. But he like half jumps every step. It's weird. Anyway, you'll never see me do it. Press play in 5, 4, 3, 2,
I'm curious.
1, play. Just look up a video of Gollum, man. God, it's a shuttle.
Curious how you look.
I do like Gollum. Or Smeagol, if you prefer. What conference could they possibly be going to? They're in the middle of nowhere space. Oh, I know what this. I forgot about the energy barrier. Is this the Prakiki Tea? Is this a shielded world and they lower it and like murder the quadrant or something? I'm hoping it's Prakiki Tea. Go to warp inside a planetary atmosphere in my
what?
Star Trek. Pretty sure that's illegal.
Probably like detonate the atmosphere if you do that.
It does work one time, but there were whales on board, so they probably helped navigate.
Yeah, you need special whale ballast. And they died.
Oh, hey, it's that forest with the age backwards children. The same little jungle. I can never remember if this is a set. I know we've talked about this forest like 5 times. I can never remember if it's a set. It looks good, though. If
Maybe
it is
they're
a
gonna
set.
age backwards. That'd be fun.
Would it, though?
Like little
I've...
7 of 9, little Chakotay running around.
How does
playing
birth work
tag.
on that planet?
Yeah.
Difficultly.
Do you like open up down the middle of your whole body with a seam and a full-grown old man just emerges? What's the deal?
Probably starts with
Do they start as
mitosis and then works backwards. I don't know.
they start as babies, then rapidly age up to old person and then age down again? What's happening? Do they just start as really, really short, but they're still weird and wrinkly?
Hey guys.
The mysteries of the universe.
Why do they never show us the details in Star Trek?
Yeah.
Beerred, did you have another name before?
Me? Who? What?
Bard Red? Beard Red?
Oh.
What?
Did you have another username? Or is this the only avatar you've been on in this Discord?
This is the only username I use.
Okay.
Well, he used to
User.
be Mr. Beardred, now he's Dr. Beardred.
Yeah.
That's true. Soon to be Dr. Bairdred.
Okay. No, they just nice to hear you. I think it's the first time I'm hearing you. But I thought you were maybe someone else because your voice sounded a little familiar.
No, he's been here before, a number of times.
Okay, usually you're muted.
I took a few months break, half a year maybe.
Okay. So, do you like Indigenous people? This episode is so respectful of Indigenous people.
That's... What kind of
Chakotay's
question is
entire
that?
existence is very respectful about Indigenous people.
You can't ask someone, do you like Indigenous people? What does that mean?
Well, there's a whole half a planet who doesn't like Indigenous people in this episode.
Well, I was going to say people usually don't admit to that, but no, it seems like people do these days, so whatever, I guess.
Also, we see a revival of the failed Chakotay 7 romance here.
Oh god, do you remember the TOS episode about some Native American tribe that may or may not be aliens? And
Yeah.
Kirk has a child with one of them and then just leaves?
Yeah. That was a good one. He likes Indigenous.
Was it? Because that's the only thing I remember, but I do not believe for a moment that it's respectful of Native American culture. I do not believe that.
We will have to visit that episode at some point.
Oh yeah, the alien DMV. The Space Highway Patrol is on him.
Do you have a driver's license, Ryan?
I live in America, dude. You have to have a driver's license.
I don't. I live in New York. We have really good public transportation.
You should probably learn to drive. That's important.
I'm working on it.
Of course, it'd be nice if none of us had to drive. I'm really looking forward to the days of
Yeah,
nobody drives because it's all autonomous.
yeah. And
Just take humans out of the picture.
the great part of that is if you have like a said Tesla or whatever, because you only use a car to basically go to work, get back to work, and maybe buy groceries. So like 20 hours a day, you're not using it, so you could rent it out or just not have a car. We all share cars.
I propose we all rent out our beds since we're not using them most of the time.
So I thought this other
Just
thing.
install a bunch of wheels.
I
My
don't know
bed
if
already has wheels. I'm perfectly set up for it.
I don't know if it was here, but some major city where there's over 10 million people, um, you like share a bed, and it's called hot bedding because basically the 12
No,
hours.
that's just how submarines work.
Mhm.
Not on Enterprise though. Enterprise should have done the cot swapping.
Yeah. So this episode makes no sense because there's supposed to be a shield. Like some alien civilization left a shield over the indigenous people on this planet to protect them from the industrial
No, it's
people.
because they're secretly the Prakiki, and if they're let out of their shield, they'll conquer the quadrant. You don't trust them.
Oh, and
Wow, it's a...
Seven didn't want to come here. Chakotay was like, "Oh, I'm an anthropologist. I'm just gonna check him out."
Chakotay's being really judgy here. Just because people like hanging out by the river doesn't mean they're pre-warp. Maybe they're camping. Leave them
I think
alone.
the animal skins. They're like wearing animal skins.
Maybe it's fashion.
Yeah, I was just watching 101 Dalmatians with my sister's kids last weekend.
There's no way this is not going into a plot line where that's... Well, Seven said it before I could get to it. Where that's going into some severe alien infection where he's going to die if they don't get him back to Voyager. So it becomes a pressing issue to bring down the shield, yada yada. They have to get him back. It's clearly where this episode is going. He's going to be near death in about 15 minutes.
You know, in countries like North Korea, if you like detour from the officially approved plan, you basically get arrested.
North Korea is such a pre-warp culture.
Yeah, it's pre-industrial for sure. I think people who have investigated, they found farmers. They don't even have like plows. They're just like they're not technologically able to make a plow. So people are literally on their hands and knees.
Strictly not. North Korea is clearly capable of making plows.
No,
It's not that complicated.
you starve a population, and then they don't have. They're basically just left to their own subsistence, and they can't even yoke their oxen. Um, the people have seen farmers in North Korea on their hands and knees digging into the ground, like plowing that way. So it is pre-warp. Uh-oh.
I wonder if these people actually like their near naked costumes, because I imagine it gets pretty hot in these sets, right?
Yeah.
Usually got really bright lights on you. It's got to be a little nice. Breezy.
See, if you're not technological, that's not your fault. But why do you have to destroy the communicator? That means you're like Amish or Luddite.
Or
They don't
there's
usually
a...
destroy other people's stuff like that.
No, if anything, like from the narratives of Columbus, they love like little trinkets, so they keep it as like, oh, shiny thing. Although Columbus is usually what happens to indigenous people, not harmless explorers like our heroes.
Harmless explorers. We literally had a genocide episode as our ending last week.
Yeah, that was our friendship
Oh,
turned
is
into.
this episode doing the noble savage thing?
Mhm.
Oh, probably.
Oh, it totally is. At least they can't be that technologically disadvantaged. I mean, they live inside a cave set.
Nah.
They don't have antibiotics.
No, the show's gonna do that thing where they have healing herbs that can slow the infection, so he survives to an extra 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's some TOS too.
And then the Federation comes in and annexes the planet for its healing medicine,
Yeah.
and then the people get displaced, and it's a whole thing. Where'd you get the hat?
That's her hair.
Is it? Are you
Yeah,
sure?
there
That
is.
looks like a hat.
No, it's like
I can see her
That's
hair
a
under
hat.
it.
That's a hat.
it looks like woven hair to me.
Could be a hat
It's
made of
just because
hair.
these people don't have woven cloth for the rest of their clothing, do they? It just looked like a flat sheet, like a skin.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're trying to convey that they're naked, except we can't show like naked people, so we have a skin tight, skin colored outfit.
Nobody even said energize. You're not allowed to do that.
Mm.
The Delta Flyer?
I'm so sad we're almost done with the Voyager.
I mean, I guess Tom doesn't have anything to do because not Enterprise. This is not Enterprise because Voyager's just like hanging out in orbit. It's just doing a circle. So yeah, screw him. We don't need him.
Yeah, the rest of the crew's on shore leave, and Seven and Chakotay are on a conference.
Or Tom. Done. Oh
Yeah.
no, I guess that is woven cloth. No, they have cloth. They're good.
Okay, it is.
Except that guy's hat looks more solid. More like a helmet.
So, Chakotay's attempts at communicating with the natives would absolutely not work. Like, just because you say "my friend" to someone doesn't automatically give them a friendly demeanor towards you.
Well, he has diagrams. He's teaching them individual words.
No, I mean I don't want to. It's like when you see somebody who only speaks English try to communicate to someone who speaks Spanish, and they're like just assuming that their words in English will just make automatic sense to the non-English speaking person, and it's like, no, that
I
word
think
is not.
these people can pick it up. They've got it.
English is not
Yeah, I
even
mean,
close to Spanish.
he's saying mountain and like pointing at a mountain. That seems reasonable.
Okay, this part's reasonable, but
I'm
later he's
reminded
like,
of like Mark Twain. If I can go back to the Mark Twain episode, though also one of my professors in college. If you read Mark Twain's story about some guy from the 1900s going back in time,
Mhm.
Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court.
yes, exactly. Mark Twain treats everybody from the medieval ages like they're total morons, completely physically incapable of rational thought.
Yeah.
Like, just
Yeah.
because they are from a long time ago, they're inherently stupid.
Hmm.
One of my professors in college also tried to push that view, which I found very odd.
Hmm.
He was like, oh yeah, if you went to talk to someone from like Shakespeare's time and told them like, oh, imagine if you woke up tomorrow with 3 arms. Like, they wouldn't be physically capable of even processing the statement.
The
It's like, come
fuck?
on. Come on,
That's
man.
bizarre.
I didn't take that
So,
class seriously.
something cute about this episode though is that Seven actually, like she's growing as a human. So she is actually like
With her crush.
Yeah.
she's like softened. Her cold exterior is softened by getting to know native people.
We could have these primitive people help construct the Tetrion-based signaling device if we assimilated them into a small collective.
Yeah.
We could share all their knowledge. Or they could share in our knowledge.
Is that a Hitler salute?
No.
Okay.
Wow.
Also,
I'm here for
Robo,
30 seconds, and your review already brings up Hitler.
I'm just saying.
Elizabeth would like to know about your Taco Bell today.
I haven't had Taco Bell today yet.
Okay, because they started asking about you and then you immediately showed up.
Well, I'm pretty cognizant, so
You know who else is far away from Taco Bell? Seven and Chicote.
Wait, what's Seven doing? Where's she going?
she lost
Is she
her
ma-
tricorder.
Is she mad at him for making friends?
Stick.
It's lucky these people didn't kill him on site, like that dude that visited the uncontacted island, even though everyone told him it's against the law and it's
Is
really
that the island
dangerous.
where people like hang out on the shore and shoot bows and arrows at passing ships?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he also was a missionary for Christ. So he died.
No,
even though
like he wasn't really a missionary for Christ. He was delusional.
Well, he was following Christ's words to spread the gospel to the 4 corners of the earth.
He
So,
was like crazy.
Well, they don't want the gospel. Leave them alone.
yeah. So they ate him.
I bet he was delicious.
Mm.
Okay,
these
yes, this is the lightning makes it look like more of a set for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. How is this a set though? How do you get a redwood inside a stage?
Not a redwood.
Well, they're not panning up so you can see the whole height of the tree.
Okay. Looks like a giant sequoia.
Also, you've never seen a real redwood,
I
have
have
you?
not seen a real redwood. That is correct.
Because
I would
as
not
someone who
confuse
lives
that.
among the redwoods in real life, those are definitely not redwoods. Those are tiny.
But those are like Southern California ferns, though.
There's
Those
a
are
clip of a
ferns.
guy. I guess there's some redwoods in the park that are cut so you can drive through them. And there's a video clip of a guy in I think it was a Nissan Pathfinder or something, which is one of those massive full-size SUVs. And he was trying to drive through the thing and he got stuck because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
And like he spent like 5 or 6 minutes trying to Austin Powers his way out. You remember in the Austin Powers movie where he's like trying to turn around in that little hallway?
I've never
with the
watched
cart?
it, but I've seen the GIF.
I haven't
Yeah.
watched
So
it either.
yeah,
An exothermic reaction.
He-
It's making fire, Seven. Relax.
he
Yeah.
finally extricates himself from the tree,
Fire
and
juice.
nobody's impressed.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Ooh.
fact that the dude even thought he could get that car through a tree should tell you these are not redwoods. You could not fit a car through one of these trees.
Car plus tree equals bed.
No, you need to see sequoias in real life, dude. Sequoias are awesome.
I learned something really cool on the California coast where they have the redwood forests. The the trees are able to breathe, take in water through the air, through the mist, because it's so misty. Which just turns upside down. Like trees don't just take in water through their roots; they can take it in through their branches as well.
Yeah, they take it in through the stomas in their leaves.
Amazing.
Doesn't that interfere with the flow of nutrients?
The leaves, certain types, there's different kinds of plants. Certain types of plants take in water through stomas in their leaves, and they usually do it at night when the sun, because if they open the stomas during the day when the sun is out, the water will come out of the stomas. And I'm not certain that redwood.
Oh, this DMV guy's savage.
Yeah. I mean, he plans to keep Paris for days, actually.
This is why redwoods have evolved foliar uptake or the process of drawing in water from the air via stomata in their needles. Nice.
Wow. Through their needles, not even like proper leaves.
Well, I mean,
Needles are leaves.
they're just really thin leaves that
Yeah.
stab you a little bit. Just a little, though. They don't hurt.
Stabby leaves.
Like a fern.
Actually, no.
If you imagine that,
that's
it's
that's
basically
actually
the same,
different.
It's basically the same
It's not
shape
like
as
a fern.
those ferns back there, the leaves on the ferns,
Mm-hmm.
but much smaller per thing and very rigid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a
So
quarter
whether
the
or not
size, and it's hard.
whether or not a tree has round like leaves or needles is a division in classification of trees. So that's like the first division.
Mm-hmm. Well, by the time
Wait, why
I
does that blanket have gumdrops on it?
Yeah. Makes me think of the Suicide Squad. What's the guy's name? David Dastmalchian's character.
Where's that? Is that a poncho?
Shot polka dot.
door sets are a lot of work. So
The
Do
odds
they
don't
help her not be
matter.
lost?
She gets the intent.
Avatar just ripped off this plot.
Avatar
Well,
ripped off Fern Gully.
and
Oh god, that is
Dances with
not
Wolves
good
and
CG water.
It's Pocahontas.
What?
Pocahontas sees John Smith for the first time in like a scene like that by the waterfall.
Okay.
Basically, it's a paying homage to all the Fern Gully stuff. I gotta say, I know you're telling me they didn't have a new soundtrack for this last season,
They
but
totally don't. There's no way this is a
emotion
new soundtrack.
emotionally, they have the best soundtrack in these episodes, and that little flute playing to symbolize the Native people, so perfect.
Speaking of flute playing, I had a song stuck in my head this morning. I was just humming it as I walked around, and I was very confused as to where it came from. It's like, is this from a movie? Is this from like a game? Is this Undertale? What am I doing? Turns out I had Star Trek on the mind because I was doing the Inner Light melody. I had no idea what it
Inner
was.
Light.
Took me like an hour to figure it out. Yes, that song. Be silent and keep your forked tongue behind your teeth.
Look, Chakotay's communicating.
Snakes only have 2 teeth, though.
Said forked tongue though.
How do they keep their forked tongue behind their teeth if they have so few teeth?
Well, they don't have to like make the teeth a physical barrier. They just have to keep the tongue behind it.
Yeah, you draw a line between the teeth and you keep the tongue behind the line.
We mix metaphors all the time on this show. So don't.
Also, you can, in fact, get a real forked tongue. That's a thing you can do. You can go have... I don't know how you get it done. I don't
they-
know
You
if...
get
Would
a
it...
you get a piercing, and then they put a little piece of fishing line between
Nope, be
through
silent.
the
Nope,
hole to the
nope,
tip.
nope,
Thanks.
nope.
So the thing is that
You
we
can
don't
also
say
get your eyes tattooed.
Why
Apparently.
do you say these things to us?
primitive people anymore. It's their technology is primitive, but the people is the same as we are.
Unless you subscribe to the theory where people in the past physically couldn't conceive of things that weren't physically in front of them.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I remember in art history class, I said that ancient Egyptian art was more primitive, and you see the evolution to like more advanced kinds of art from to the Greek. And my teaching assistant crossed that out and said, "Look, it's not primitive. It's just art. Like, you can't say that they're not advanced.
It's
Technology
more
is different.
simple. You have to choose the right word.
No, not even. It really isn't simple either, because those Egyptian statues and art is very difficult to do. Like, they painted the Sphinx. But so primitive and advanced refers to technology, not to people.
You're primitive.
It's stylized.
Oh, this is the Federation timeship, isn't it? I'm like positive that chair at least is from the timeship.
That is.
It is a comfy looking chair.
No, but you hear that, you see that
It's
angry
very
Captain
human
Braxton
shaped.
in there. No, but you see Braxton there without being suggested too much. So I'm really glad this. I didn't know this, right? In northern Japan, like the northernmost island of Japan, there was a group of, I know I just said not to use the term, but primitive people named the Ainu, and they were a different genetic stock than the rest of mainland Japan. And through the 19th and 20th century, basically they just like kidnapped their women, and now there's like hardly any Ainu people left. But like, basically how we have Native Americans, and we kind of put them on reservations and got rid of most of them. So the Japanese, they had their Native American population until
Wait. Star Trek just did solve the one problem that every single sci-fi franchise with shields has. On this planet, the energy source for the barrier is inside the barrier.
Wow.
So often, it's some like external source, like it's on an asteroid in orbit or something. They just go blow it up in the shield.
On Endor.
They solved it. They solved it.
Hey, when they attacked the Hoth base, they could have just bombarded that shield generator from orbit with the Star Destroyer, or they could have sent TIE bombers to blow it up.
Could
No.
they have
It's more
bombarded from
dramatic
orbit,
to
though?
send. It's more dramatic to send the walkers.
Star Wars
slowly
weapons are all
giant camels.
Star Wars weapons are all guided by eye. They don't have targeting computers, really. Everything's done by eye. So they have to point at that tiny little generator from orbit.
Wasn't R2 acting as a targeting
bombard
computer?
it with you saturate the entire area, Ryan. You
keep firing until that shield stops.
Yeah, you just bombard it like you carpet bomb it. Who cares?
Just Death Star Hoth. Why are we wasting time? Because they don't have a Death Star. But still. Why didn't they just use that planet that functions as a giant Death Star and blows up multiple planets?
What happened to the Prime Directive? How come they're not like, we just need to drink water and
it's not convenient this episode. Don't worry about it.
Why don't we just hunt our own food and not make contact with the pre-warp civ? These people are even more backward than Mintakans. You can't say backward. Less technologically advanced than Mintakans.
Okay, so I said they don't really have targeting computers in Star Wars. Yes, we do see Luke literally use a targeting computer, but It doesn't really
No.
do anything, does it? He's just like
It's
watching
not.
through a view scope.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Yeah.
not the targeting computer that does it. It's Luke's like force intuition that does it.
Right. He turns off the targeting
So
computer, but that only proves that there was a targeting computer.
But the
Okay,
targeting
right.
computer, when we see him looking through it,
You-
all it's doing is like providing a targeting reticle that he has to
Yeah.
line it up with.
Yeah.
So the thing in Star Wars is that supposedly everything has such good electronic countermeasures that there's like electronic guidance lock-on systems just don't work.
Mm.
I
Or
actually kind of
I
like that as a
like
workaround.
I like the Battlestar Galactica headcanon version of Star Wars, where nobody has meaningful computers networked in, because it's just too dangerous. People hack in and just blow up your ship.
Yeah, also good.
No, but something I learned about archery is that most archers they have a little device that unpredictably releases the arrow, because very few archers can actually professional tournament archers can just like let go when they're ready, because we get so nervous and that messes with our ability to take a shot. So those anxiety
Well, that's fine. That's
vibrations.
why we invented gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it makes sense that Luke would have to use the Force, and that's better than targeting with your brain. This
Yeah,
guy's
DMV man, you tell him. DMV man's the best character in Voyager.
Adequate pilot. Oh, that's beautiful.
Gotta love
I
how this
don't
guy
think
is, chewing out Tom.
in Voyager, I don't think we even get a like Tom Paris expert pilot moment like we do in like Strange New Worlds. He doesn't really do anything, does he?
Tom is expert everything though. He's the medical. He's designing spaceships. He's like,
Well, as we've learned, his spaceship design is pedestrian at best.
although I will say that like even in space, even if you're in an asteroid field, it's not that hard to actually pilot through a real asteroid field. It's not like how it is in the
Oh my
TV
god.
show.
Yeah.
They-
Yes, in real life, the
probability of
asteroids are
successfully
very, very
navigating an
far
asteroid
apart.
field is 100%. Yeah.
So you don't have
Star
to
Trek
be.
has this weird science mystery of about a energy shield encasing an entire planet, and their solution was gun. And this first gun didn't work, so now they're going with bigger gun. Oh, this is a good episode.
yes, shoot at it is always the
torpedo,
best
really.
solution. It's a very Janeway solution.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Like
Janeway's
old
the
school
best
stuff.
captain.
That's how Janeway got them into this entire mess. Blowing up that array.
I mean, Janeway and
The
Cisco are
cause
the
and
best
solution to
captains by
every
virtue of the
problem
fact they use
is
gun.
shoot it.
Cisco's plan is gun. Janeway's plan is gun. They're the best
Cisco's plan is poison an entire planet
with a gun
with trilithium resin.
attached to your space bullets.
Missiles, but yeah.
What's the difference between a missile and a bullet? It's fine.
Star Wars Episode 1 also had the shield generator on the inside, right?
Yeah, but they had to attach them to
Yeah.
dinosaurs.
Yeah. Yeah, because they smashed Chakotay's.
I never found a good way to use those dinosaur shield generators in Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. Could never make them work. It never seemed convenient.
I'm surprised that they just didn't go all in and name her 4 of 7.
Yes.
So if they're gonna heal the injured people, then isn't that gonna make future generations worship the Picard?
I mean,
See, they did do the mystical alien primitive medicine thing that heals all wounds.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think any poultice could heal a fracture. I mean, that's just
Yeah, but what if it's an alien poultice?
Some fractures heal themselves.
yeah, some fractures heal themselves, but they don't like heal over the matter of like 3 days, no matter what type of poultice you stick on it.
So
Does Seven still have these in Picard? She does, right? I just don't remember seeing them specifically. I wasn't
I
looking.
think so. Yeah,
she
you don't
does.
see them very often.
They're better quality than
Have what in Picard?
the hand
Her
glove.
hand rubber.
Yes, she has the hand thing. In the alternate timeline, she doesn't have it, and then there's a scene where she's like dying, and the Borg Queen saves her life, and she gets her implants back, and they
Oh yeah.
they explicitly show that reforming on her face and on her hand, which is like, well, gotta hit the Star Trek reset button. Wouldn't be Star Trek without
Yeah,
the reset button.
that's just what Star Trek does, man.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, colonialism.
Thanks to the Federation.
They're making contact. They're trying to study them.
Actually, this
Yeah,
episode
I don't think
does.
this is a communication thing. This is definitely a resource thing.
We're taking your shit thing.
Oh, I mean, there's untapped mineral resources on this part of the planet.
It's literally free real estate.
Yeah, so I was saying it's funny, but like the Japanese had a native indigenous population in the north of Japan that they basically. I was reading that like Japanese fishermen would just kidnap the northern women, and so there's officially only 20,000 of these natives left in northern Japan, but they're so intermarried that rights groups say that they're actually thousands, way more descendants, but they've just been intermingled with the people who kidnapped them forcibly.
Evil resource exploitation colonialism, man. Have we seen him? He does seem familiar, but I feel like he's not
Yeah.
from Star Trek. He might be, but I feel like I know him from somewhere else. What's this episode called? Natural Law. Let me see if I can find him.
Seven went native. Is this what's happened here? Is that what she's describing? She's wow. How culturally insensitive of you.
I'm gonna self-mute myself.
That was pretty bad, yeah.
I mean,
Anyway. So what do we know colonialism man's name? Did they give him a name? Because I'm just looking through the Memory Alpha list of people, and it just says person as Ventu, person as Ventu, person as Ventu, person as Ventu. That doesn't help. Rodosian scientist? No. Sean Lewis as Rodosian scientist? No. It's not Michael.
he has no intention of evacuating the people.
Yeah.
That's fine. They can stay there and be murdered.
I don't think the old world took 2 seconds before it started colonizing the new world. So you can't blame them.
Some guy is Ayala, but that's okay. His
Honestly,
name is Ivar Broger. That's the actor. He was in another episode of Star Trek. He was in the Voyager episode Unity, where which one was that?
Seven joins the collective again, right?
Chakotay is injured and trapped on a world where the inhabitants are embroiled in conflict. Okay, that's the one with the Borg cooperative.
Okay, yeah.
He was one of the
Simulated.
ex-partial Borg people.
Oh, okay.
Here's my favorite part.
It's when you tell the D&D instructor.
Janeway's like, okay, Tom, I'm gonna stop trolling you. Now it's time to go.
Yeah.
Gonna give that old DMV guy a heart attack.
It'd be funny if
I
he
don't
got
see
wrecked
any
to
speed limit
force
signs
field around the
posted in
DMV guy.
space.
Put your seatbelt on. This Delta Flyer's got orange accents. That means it's fast,
Yeah.
like a Mopar.
Christopher Columbus discovering the New World was the greatest event in human history.
Well, what do you know? It turns out we can do that. Ah, come on, let them have the deflector. It'll be
Are
a
they
present.
destroying it or are they beaming it
They're-
up?
Sure is easy to get the transporters offline in this episode.
Oh no, not Ladoja in space. We were super wanted. Oh yes, we solved it with gun and a crossfade.
Oh, no more shuttle.
Man,
So there's
gun
a-
is the solution to so many of these problems this episode.
This episode ends on a pretty good note that although we breached the barrier and these people were probably going to be colonized, meet soon, they now understand that they're going to be invaded and they can do something to resist it. But imagine if an
No,
alien
they
species...
can't.
No, they
Imagine if it-
can't.
They
But, I mean,
can.
Have you played
the
Stellaris?
barrier's
You
not
send
gonna-
one assault army to take a whole planet and they just roll over all the primitives.
Yeah, but imagine an alien species put a shield over the Atlantic Ocean. So we would just all be,
A
playing
primitive
on the...
species wouldn't be able to put a shield over the.
I said alien species.
Oh, alien. I thought you said primitive species. Okay.
No, alien. So, and they prevented us, and everybody still had to play on the Eastern Hemisphere. No Western Hemisphere for us.
Look, if aliens came to Earth and wanted to do literally anything, there is nothing we could do to stop them. We would be screwed.
Yeah, if they're capable of getting here, then they're so far advanced that we wouldn't be able to do anything about it.
Well, I don't know.
Unless
I think enough energy can do a lot. So a couple of nukes can still do something.
yeah, but how do you hit them with the nukes? What if they have point defense?
Yeah,
What
they
if
just
they just
destroy them
move-
before they even come out of the
That's where
silo.
we use the human advantage of lying.
That's where you hire Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith to use an alien
Yeah.
spacecraft that crashed back in the 50s to sneak into the alien mothership and fire the nuke at point blank from inside.
Yes, give them a
viruses, I
cold.
do
Having
like.
a look at
Actually-
a virus
actually,
on their MacBook.
We just had the 27th anniversary of that last week.
Native American flute on the outro.
So I really like War of the Worlds, how the humans stood absolutely zero chance against the aliens militarily. There was nothing they could do. I think they
Yeah.
took down like one walker throughout the whole book. And then
Yeah.
the aliens just died to a virus because it's an alien atmosphere. An alien
But
bacteria.
But again, if they could come here, they would be advanced enough to analyze what's here and either use environmental suits or have
yeah, well, the
preemptively
Martians were
have
stupid.
a vaccine.
You're making
Well-
a lot of assumptions about aliens. We're thinking
Yeah.
about it from our perspective, not theirs.
What if these aliens had a culture that they've never gone to war with each other, therefore they didn't have any weapons when they showed
Yeah.
up at Earth?
Only scientific.
If that
Yeah, but
happened, then we'd fight them and annihilate them probably,
Then they'd get wrecked, and we'd
and we'd
take their
take
shit.
their spaceships and go to their planet.
Oh, that's just the mirror universe. That's how the mirror universe went.
How that went.
I mean, the Vulcans
I don't
had
know.
weapons, but probably like a pistol, and that's it.
I think if there are aliens and they figure out where we are, using game theory, they would just launch a weapon of mass destruction at us and be done with it. Because if they
Yeah.
let us
Homestead.
discover
Let's play on
them, what
Homestead
if
in
we
5,
launch a weapon of
4,
mass destruction?
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Play. Against an alien culture, a weapon of mass destruction, one of ours would be a weapon of minor destruction.
Start off with
It would be
the
relatively
greatest
small
weapon of mass
destruction.
destruction. Neelix's cookie.
But
A weapon
if
of
they-
mass
if they
amusement.
didn't,
Even if
if they didn't do it, then we might in the future. That's the thing.
Even if
Is
they
this-
don't war with themselves, I think that they would have the ability to defend themselves against our weapons, because if they're traveling through space, they have to be able to deflect all sorts of things. So
What if they showed up
isn't-
in ships that were like really antiquated? And we can't even
Oh,
damage
like
them
District 9?
with our magic software,
Wait.
because there is no
Like
software and it's
District
all.
I needed to
like
be quiet for a
valves and-
second. Can you listen to the music?
Rock and roll.
Is this the same music as in First Contact?
Yes, it's Doobie Doobie from Zephyr Cochrane, and that's the same.
Okay, which came out first, this episode or the movie?
96 was
the
First
movie.
Contact. 2001 was this
Okay.
episode.
No one's slapping the jukebox to get it to work. It's not an authentic First Contact Day.
Yeah, he's made up the holiday, First Contact Day. But
Oh, God, it is a physical
guys-
jukebox. Oh no.
I just want to commemorate. This is going to be Neelix's last episode, so you guys.
Thank
cherish it.
God.
No, it's a tearful.
The best character on the show is about to go.
No, but he gets Tuvok to do the hokey pokey.
Oh, whoa, is one of them drinking Romulan ale? That is a crime.
Where's the commemorative shotgun?
The nail should be illegal.
The shotgun was the best part of First Contact.
I like when Lily emptied a whole submachine gun magazine into Data.
Even androids are not susceptible to the Colt 45.
Not a Colt 45.
That's a reference, you buffoon.
I know.
I don't know what kind of weapon she did use.
Oh, it was a submachine gun.
Could you be more specific,
was it
gunman?
a Sten? Was it a Sten, or I don't remember. I don't remember what it was. I had to see. I had to look at it and see, and then I could tell you. If I could see it, I could tell you what it is. Let me look it up.
Something super
It's
strange
probably a Sten.
about the way
Okay, I'm
maybe an
posting a
M3.
picture in the general chat.
I guess the moral of
Okay.
this episode is if you're an alien, you should be with your own kind.
Yeah. No, something really I think poorly done. I don't know what's the reason for it.
Ooh.
The way Neelix like forgets about Naomi Wildman, it's like, I get, like school ends, class ends, you move on, you get a different job, you move out of town. All that stuff happens in life, but you don't just let the relationship like
Yeah, sure you do.
fizzle
Screw.
out. Yeah, but basically his goddaughter, he just stops reading to her. She's like, "Oh, I'm too big to be read to you by you," and bye.
That also happens.
Yeah,
It totally happens.
true.
Besides, would you want the weird Hobbit man reading to you, watching over your bed at night?
I mean,
The weird hobbit, man.
the
I mean, if he makes like my breakfast and stuff, then yeah, I think I could
But-
put up with that.
the children's holiday episodes are kind of fun. Fulmix, what's his name? The water character.
I guess the downside is you'd have to eat Leola root-based products
Yeah.
every day.
Is he replicating Leola? Because they're really far away from that season 1 planet.
You could just keep growing it in the aeroponics bay.
Oh, God. Alright,
If
Roby, you've had a
only in
good
that
long while to
episode-
look at the gun. What is it?
Where everyone stole
I'm
the food. If
trying
only they'd
to
stole the Leola
figure
root.
it out.
Why didn't they
Okay.
steal the Leola root?
Guys, we only have one more Voyager watch along left after this. Can you
Yeah,
believe
it's a
we-
Calico.
We've been through 4
It's a
series.
Calico?
together.
Calico M951. It's a American-made piece of junk submachine gun with a drum magazine. I think that's actually the carbine version.
All we know
It's
is
from
it
like
doesn't
the
work on
set- the
androids.
the 80s. It's 9
Wait, how come-
millimeter.
How come the gun did nothing to Data, but that one time some primitive stabbed him with a metal stick? It
Yeah.
completely destroyed him.
Because they got lucky.
Indigenous people is a
They
prevent.
Huh?
They hit
When-
the
when
one
did they
spot and
stab him
she
with a metal
missed.
stick?
She missed.
Sorry, that actually happened twice.
Um,
He got stabbed.
He got.
When was that?
Yeah, it was the episode where he had
one where-
amnesia.
Yeah, and he made friends with the
with
kid.
the radioactive.
Oh, was that not like a sort of electric baton thing?
No, it was just like it was just a metal rod.
Oh,
Yeah.
They didn't have electricity.
The townspeople attacked him.
There was
when he
electricity
tries to
as
speak
a
and it
result of
sounds
being
cursed.
stabbed.
Also, people can live on asteroids. It's even worse than the trailer.
Ooh, directed by Geordie LaForge. Nice. Ooh, I like the effects on that asteroid. Some good effects. They have had a lot of practice with their asteroids. This is the same asteroid field as always.
How much Leola root do you think is packed into the Starfleet emergency rations aboard Voyager?
None.
Mm.
People have to
It wouldn't be a
periodically
Starfleet
clean it
emergency
out.
ration then.
Yeah, but they've had to adapt everything else on Voyager. Why not that?
Oh, they're going to lose the warranty on that shuttle.
DMV man breathes a sigh of relief. That death trap of a
Yeah.
ship is gone.
The DMV guy is just like, I told them.
Laughs in Ledosian.
Did someone mine an asteroid field?
Yeah.
Why are we in the asteroid field again?
We detected
sent
hundreds
our-
of life signs, and our heroes are just that good.
Oh, it's the Hobbit. Right,
Because anything that isn't empty space, we got to investigate it. Because it's not taking us long
We
enough to
sent
get home.
our
Right.
we sent our super shuttle. It crashed, so we have to send a regular shuttle to save the super shuttle.
Makes sense.
It's a little
If
racist,
that's the
lady.
Hobbit
Okay.
for the ring, and then this shuttle can be cloaked and find the super shuttle.
See, you can tell they're hobbits because they live in a hobbit hole in an asteroid. Underground.
I thought it was the hairy feet that gave it away.
Also, I like how the walls clearly have that, God, what's even the word for it? It's not plaster. It's
Paper
the stuff
mache.
you put on walls and then use the scraping
Stucco?
tool to move it down.
Stucco.
Adobe.
No, not Adobe.
Okay.
It's stucco. You can see it.
Paper mache was my other guess.
Rough cast.
So these people don't know that all of
Why did she
all
put a
of
nicotine patch on the Hobbit's head?
these
Look at him. He probably needs it.
these two
They
don't
don't
know
have
that
cigars anymore.
there's no more Talaxians left.
He's probably been smoking some pipe weed.
He's been smoking the Leola root.
The only reason she gets with Neelix is because he's the last Talaxian in the galaxy.
There's other Talaxians around.
Wow.
No, but it reminds
Who
me of
gave
She's
Neelix
got a lot of
gun?
questions.
I saw this funny joke where this nerd who can't get girls, this girl tells him, you have 1,000,001 chance of getting with me. And he's like, really?
1,000,001?
And he thought those were like great odds.
Those are great odds. That's
One in a
literally
million?
Oh, oops.
That's guaranteed 1,000,000 times over.
1 in a million. Yeah.
Neelix, just because they're the same species
Does
doesn't
he-
mean you're
Wait.
automatically friends.
Isn't the leader of the Talaxians here the guy from the False Prophets episode? That was the sage's like aide.
Lesser sages. That guy.
Love that guy. I was confused for a second because that's clearly a Cardassian freighter,
And that's a Cardassian makeup
and
almost.
I just sort of saw the color of his skin and I went, but no.
That's
It's
racist.
also
There's no Cardis here.
it's also used as a Klingon freighter. I think it's made by the same people who make the Triangle ships, and it's just sold all over the place.
Ah, yes,
Just-
the Triangle Ship Consortium.
Just that whole
Model
sector
7.
just
Tri-
reuses ship models.
Triangle shipyards. We build it to your specifications.
A famous
Any size,
triangular shipyard.
any loadout. Everything from the Hushnak to the Bajoran.
Did you say the
Impulse
Hushnak because
transport.
it's an old man who talks about them?
Yeah,
The
this
Husnak don't need ships. Oh no, wait.
They-
The
they
Husnak are
don't
the
need them
evil ones that
anymore.
he wiped out. Yeah.
They don't exist anymore.
this reminds me of the Pegasus episode in TNG because at the same time they have their people in the asteroid. The Romulans are like, yeah, we're mining, and they're just.
So what we
bombing.
need
They're
is
doing
to discover
scientific
all
research.
of all the Talaxi instead of asphyxiation in the asteroid. Is what I'm hearing.
Oops. Oopsie.
Oh, that's a neurotransmitter from DS9.
Is he holding a gun or is that like a toy? What?
That's a medical.
I can't tell.
Oh, it
device
transmits something.
from TOS.
It's called the Phoenix.
The Daedalus.
The
Bash him over the
Daedalus.
head with it.
Daedalus.
Kill him.
So this kid was wishing he had a dad, and Neelix came in at just the right time.
Yes, manipulate the child.
Ah, yes. He gains loyalty through the children.
That's so Neelix. Oh god, what is that beard? Oh no, that's not a beard. That's just his hair is. Wait, is
That's
it
a beard.
What am I looking at?
That is facial hair, but it's not a beard as our species thinks of it.
His whiskers, it's his mutton chops.
Yeah, it is a beard per se. Neelix would grow the same because he has those tufts.
That doesn't sound like False Prophets guy.
I think it is.
You might be putting on a different voice.
Guys, I'm so sad. Neelix is not going to be on Voyager anymore.
Voyager, False Prophets, Memory Alpha. I don't remember the dude's name.
There's only 2 Ferengi in that episode.
No, but
It's not the Ferengi, it's the assistant.
it wasn't him. It never was. It was the assistant.
Mm-hmm. What were they called again, those people?
The Ferengi.
No, the
Prophets.
planet they were on?
Primitives.
False Prophets is the episode.
They had no name.
Okay, the actor's
they
name,
have any?
not the actor, but the character's name was Kafar. He was on the planet. He was on the Takarian homeworld.
I
Takarian.
feel like that particular name gets used all the time.
Kafar?
Picarian. Or Katarian, or like other variants, you know?
Kufar means
So
unbelievable.
it is the same guy. It is him.
Thank you.
And he also plays another Talaxian in that episode
Yeah, the
where
guy
the Vidian cuts a
drugs.
dude's face off.
The drugs?
Oh, what about the guy that was Neelix's friend that was trying to get him to smuggle warp plasma?
No,
Oh.
It's a
different guy.
Different
Oh,
guy.
what was his name? All these characters that are now written there. Ah,
There's so many hobbits to keep track of.
Wexaban.
Geothermal energy. You're in an asteroid. What do you mean?
There's no Geo.
There's lava. Don't ask.
The inside of
How?
the asteroid is molten. I don't know.
I guess they're using the heat from the rock of the rock.
It's still
Yeah.
hot from when it formed, I guess.
Big
No,
rock.
it's still hot from when it passed through the
Ah,
sun.
Asteroids fresh out of the oven.
Yeah, well,
Still
actually,
steaming.
they can pass through a comet can pass near the star, and the vapor will like sublimate. It'll go from ice to gas without going to liquid in between.
That's what
Oh,
creates the
the-
comet trail. But
I'm
the
getting
thing
the
is that
vapors.
it could it wouldn't pass through the star because then it would be gone.
Mm-hmm. Just near it.
Did it pass through
Well-
the corona?
Relatively near.
You probably don't want to go into a star's corona for multiple
No.
reasons.
Well, if you have
Unless you're
meta-
Dr. Crusher. Dr. Crusher does it twice.
Yeah.
So
Wait, when's the first time?
since
The first
Since
time
we
was
beat
the
Russia-
episode where the
When-
metaphasic shield was invented, and then the
The-
second
Mm.
time was Descent with the weird rogue Borg.
with lore.
Huh?
leading when
Yes, she
Crusher's
goes into
in charge
Star's
of the
Corona
ship,
to avoid the lore Borg.
when she's in charge of the ship because
Oh.
everybody else is down on the OA team.
Man, it's been a while.
she does it with the shields that she got from the Ferengi scientist who was
I usually
Can't
skip
believe the
that episode.
Ferengi invented it.
metaphasic shields.
Yeah.
Why
So-
Ferengi?
Since we beat the Russians to the moon, the Russians are determined to beat us to the sun. How, you ask? Well,
I mean,
they're
they
gonna
can go
at
for
night.
it.
Well, actually,
You know,
let's
it makes sense that
Sputnik
if
first.
if the Ferengi had the metaphasic shielding, that makes sense as to why they were able to try and steal the nanoprobes, because they know more about that than
Mhm.
we do.
True. That does make sense. Although,
I like how the Delta Flyer does not. The CG doesn't interact with the asteroid at all. Like it lights up and the asteroid stays completely dark.
Well, it's really dark in there.
Did the kids stow away?
What if the asteroid is composed of some kind of light-absorbing material?
Vanta Black.
Maybe that's how it stays hot.
But then how do you get the energy out of it?
I don't know. That's up to them to figure out. I think they use it for
Conduction.
baths and stuff. Those Talaxians love a good bath.
Thanks for the flashback to season 1.
Literally episode 1.
Yeah, thanks. That's just what I needed in my head.
That's like when they still have Neelix in his. He's just pure comedic relief phase with no other character traits.
What?
Singing in the
There
bath.
was plenty of other character traits. There was the child abuse. There was general emotional abuse. There was jealousy and controlling nature.
He was very conniving with the Kazon and like being duplicitous with them.
He liked
You
baths.
can't get the image of Ethan Phillips in a bathtub out of your head.
I had
That's
it
when
out
he's
of my
got
head
like the
because I had the
big
Kazon
tall glass that he is just
And he's,
almost
like,
about to discard.
squirting
With,
it
he's
out of
got
his mouth
a
into
million
the
other
back-
glasses. Yeah.
back into the tub.
And then he stands up in front of Tuvok, like
yeah.
bare naked.
He starts off the relationship
Tuvok's
that way.
disgusted for the first
he-
time at Neelix.
He holds a towel like a butler, basically.
I like how they use the same music cue there for the bloody Neelix fight that they use for the Borg when they board.
Mhm. It was
Because the
high
Borg are
tension.
that much of a tiny threat now that just any old fight. You know what it was? Neelix is assimilating people around him, just not physically.
The Borg are the mud crabs of Voyager, where occasionally Voyager is just flying along, and then suddenly music starts playing. Like, ugh.
Oh, not this again. I can't fast travel anymore.
What's so
He doesn't
special
sound
about these
anything like he does.
asteroids? Like, why these asteroids? There's
Yeah,
a
they're
heck of a lot of
fast.
asteroids
It's
around.
true. You could just find an M-class planet where you don't have to be harassed by.
But these are their asteroids. You don't understand. This is their home. They spent all those years building it.
But also, like, why do they need to harvest these specific asteroids? Don't they have like a giant asteroid belt?
Aren't
to
there
harvest?
millions of asteroids
Yeah.
around?
And probably
But there's nice
planets
geothermal
and
energy in
moons.
here.
They're basically
They
settled-
need to
It's like
say,
one-
you know, there's
one
some
big sauna.
special mineral that you can't find anywhere else, a rare mineral. Then that would at least make some sense.
What's the big deal with your
No.
house? Why don't you just like, move to another country?
I did.
He's a better Talaxian.
What just came through your mic gyrings? Was that like a demon? Or was that wind?
It was just wind.
It was definitely a flashback to the
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. It's like probably like a what do you call it
interdimensional
from
view.
DS9? One of those
Is it
evil things.
A paw
Alright.
wraith.
Pa
Yeah.
Wraith? Yeah. What side do you wear
Yeah.
your earring on, Gyrinx?
What color is it? Is it
Where
red or
I'm
is it like
wearing-
shiny?
Children are not allowed on the bridge.
I hide my affiliation.
Oh, by the way, this
Definitely
is
pod race then.
a great save over here. What's Neelix's station? He does too many things to be one.
I mean, he definitely is the most versatile member.
Oh, I was going to question why they're talking him up so much. It's because they can see that they want to make the other Talaxians want him,
wanna-
so he'll go away.
Yeah.
Right? They want to pawn him off on him.
Like,
It's like
now's
what
our
the guy did
chance.
with
This
Come
shuttle
on,
doesn't have engine
Berkeley's-
problems. You should totally buy it.
He's amazing. He's a good runner.
Barclay's former commanding officers gave him such good reviews so that the Enterprise would take him away.
Yes.
And this shuttlecraft is totally not haunted by some evil AI that's going to
mutant.
kidnap you.
Look, the shuttle has been possessed like 2 times. It's fine.
Yeah, it won't possess anyone else. The possession out of it. It's like what do you call that when you run a ship around for the first time to like camera out the dings?
Shakedown cruise.
Yeah, that's the one.
Just getting the kinks out, you know? Except the kink happens to be an AI that wants to murder you.
It doesn't want to murder you, it just wants to go home.
Details.
Well, that requires murdering you.
Oh, now we
Yeah, well,
It's just incidental murder.
All about our cut is cut game.
I guess it's manslaughter instead of first degree.
Wait, is it just me, or are Naomi's spikes even spikier than they used
Yeah,
to be?
they're very spiky.
She's growing up all spiky.
I think she ever hurts herself on those spikes.
She sprouted them.
I want
Do
to
you
see
think
her
that
head
she
butt
has to have
someone.
a special pillow so she doesn't like poke it and burst it all the time?
I want someone
She
to
has to have,
board
like, a-
Voyager and she just stabs them with her face.
A tear resist. Oh, getting a headbutt from a Katarian? Oh my god.
Like a rhino?
Not
more,
like the butt crackians from the last episode.
more like a triceratops.
Feels so bad for Samantha. That poor woman.
Oh yeah, that was part of the
Nice
plot,
glass
wasn't
of
it?
piss.
That
It
the
was,
spikes,
yes.
the spikes were stuck in the birth canal.
We did a C-section. It worked out fine.
Didn't we transport Naomi out or
giving-
something?
Yeah. Future C-section.
Could you have given birth? Could you have procreated with someone who didn't have a serrated forehead?
Why is the light level always so low in all these quarters? It's not like
That's
powering an
how
LED
romance
is like.
works. You just turn the lights off.
Oh,
But you know, already through the birth canal, you have to dilate several times the size to deliver a human child. So it's not a piece of cake, actually.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Soldier-
probably a lot more difficult when the child has a serrated forehead.
Yeah.
Our
That's gonna make a
sculpture-
significant difference.
what is that
Alright.
called? What cake? I want some of that.
tiramisu.
It's a nucleopeptide cake with mint frosting.
If human children were born any later, their heads would be way too big to even come out of the.
Who?
You know, like
Please
when
tell
you
me
have
who got that reference.
I had TNG reference, right?
What was the reference? You say it again?
He asked what type of
Oh,
cake it was.
cellular
I said
peptide. Yes, we all
nucleopeptide
are
cake
familiar with Deanna Troy, the cake.
with mint frosting.
Well, at least they didn't say
Cake-
coffee
cake
and
and a
croissant.
Troy.
You know. 'cause
why are the
that's what I was-
forks like shaped weird? I get that it's space sci-fi fork, but like why?
Did you see the tilt on those glasses? Nobody drinks whatever. Although, you know, I was thinking it would be convenient because that way you don't get water in your nose and you can tilt it all the way up.
You see, with those strange alien biology and their weird shaped mouths that are clearly very different from humans, you just
They
gotta.
need, they need a
gotta
strange
adjust.
fork to slot it in. Yeah. They have like really deep mouths compared to us. That's why the fork has like a much larger platform for placing food.
It's more of a shovel, really. I didn't actually see the fork. I don't know what it looks like.
So,
Oh, I
this,
don't know. Probably the staff want to eat the rest of the cake, so we're not going to film that scene again.
this poor woman's husband was a farmer, and he was killed by the cops. So that's why she came to live on the asteroid.
He came to farm rocks.
She really needs to raise her standards.
Funny enough,
Hey,
that
Neelix has grown as a person since the first season, okay?
Thank you, Argos. He'll be a fine husband.
Will he?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's kind of ready.
As long as
I
he
mean,
doesn't get all clingy and weird.
yeah,
Again.
he's ready to.
Okay.
Also, her kid is
Also-
Brax. Isn't Brax also the name of Encounter Point? He's like the second in command.
Also, it's
And the
Brax,
guy's constantly
that's
yelling,
Prax.
Brax. Crack?
no one has.
Prax.
Brax.
The
Brax.
P. Prax!
I was gonna say no. No woman has touched Neelix since Kef left the ship, but then we did have the Klingon cult aboard, and he did have a successful.
Neelix was well into that. I'm pretty sure one of the Klingons was like coming on to Tom, and he was like,
Kim.
"Alright, pass her over," and she was like, "Alright, let's do this."
Okay, I recognize this man's voice. Who's this
I
dude?
know. I know, it's bothering me.
It's a constant thread when watching Star Trek.
The
I know this
Federation.
man.
I know.
The Federation cares about not relocating people.
Allegedly.
It's
That's
so
nice.
hard to find out who
Wait,
actors
wait.
are in Star Trek, though,
Wait,
The
because they're all
Federation
weird
seems to
alien.
change its
was-
mind on that policy quite often.
What was the entire plot of Star Trek Insurrection?
It's whether the Federation should do that or not.
Yeah.
Was it abducting an entire colony of people by force without them knowing it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was on DS9 too, as I recall.
They'll just
Not
wake
by
up in
force,
the same
though, by
place and it'll be
deception.
awesome.
Yeah, but I was.
Well,
referring
that's a
to the
type of
Maquis
force.
colony, which started the whole Maquis rebellion.
No, Data's just malfunctioning.
So,
You can just say he's
Alien
malfunctioning.
Minor Man has been a Klingon in TNG, DS9, and Voyager. He was also a
And
rando
Voyager?
Bajoran security officer, and he was a primitive earlier in Voyager.
Which episodes of Voyager was he a
Basic.
Klingon in?
Oh, Firstborn in TNG, which is the one where we see future Alexander, and he's played by Dr. Mora. He was in DS9 Return to Grace, where Dukat takes over a Klingon ship. And he was in Voyager's Barge of the Dead, with B'Elanna's childhood trauma.
Wait, was he the one that, like the guy that was at the wheel?
No, let's see. Brock-Ten was a Klingon warrior who did not believe that Greythor existed. Upon his death, his soul was on its way to Greythor, yada yada yada. He befriended B'Elanna, explained where she was.
Yeah, he's the angry guy.
He just explained how the Klingon afterlife worked. He was the exposition man.
Yeah. Great actor.
He was like, well, now that I'm here, might as well tell you all about it.
We're on the River Styx. We got to pay the ferryman.
What does he even do with all the cash? What does Sharon do?
Imagine how annoying it would be to not believe in an afterlife and then you end up there and you're just like, oh, God.
I don't have to imagine.
You're not dead.
Okay, never mind. Let me take it back. But
Because, you know, if you were like a non-believer but you went to that afterlife, I'm sure they wouldn't treat you very well because they're like, oh,
Whoa,
you
whoa,
didn't
whoa,
believe,
whoa.
did you? Woo, well, we got you.
B'Elanna was basically that situation.
Insurrection is stupid because there's only 300 people. How many people does it take before it comes wrong?
Yeah.
True.
3,000?
In the Federation, the
30,000?
answer's
A
obviously
million?
less than 301.
Oh How many people does it
True.
take?
And they didn't even
On the
know. In
contrary.
fact, wait, were they not hogging it because they like what was the
They
story?
stayed young. They're forever young from the planet's rings.
They were like, "Ooh, we don't know. Oh, but now we can live a perpetual agrarian existence because we're
I'm
just
200
amazing
years
and we
old
can just
and I'm
chill."
still hot.
Yeah.
This is sweet because these two are actually friends, and this was established before. Although the episode where
The thing is, Vulcan could express friendship if they wanted to. It's just that Tuvok chooses not to.
yeah, 100%. Because Spock's
Yeah.
dying words were, "Jim, I have always been and shall always be your friend."
Yeah, he got better though. It's fine. What were his actual
with those
last words? How
shoes?
did old Spock die? Oh, he died off
Cover up
screen.
those disgusting feet.
Sorry, Argos, I spoke over you.
Huh?
You were saying about Neelix does do that. Tuvok chooses not to express himself.
Yeah. Well, it was that episode where he like became a child again, and Neelix took care of him.
Oh,
And
riddles.
As soon as he goes back to normal, he's just like
This never happened.
treats
We
him
will
like
never speak of this again.
really terribly again, except that one joke about the Sundays.
Okay, hang on. There's confusion about Insurrection going on. The thing with Insurrection, they couldn't just set up a like holiday resort for the Sona on the other side of the planet. That was discussed in the movie.
The Baku.
The reason they couldn't is because to save all the Sona
Baku.
who were dying of the Sona, the people who were all disfigured.
Okay, sorry.
To save them, they had to like get a concentrated dose of the magic space radiation, and to do that, they had to like detonate the field or something. And the planet
had
was
to
going to
collect
become
it all
uninhabitable.
I mean, yeah, do
And the only
science
reason they needed that is because they left the colony in the first place, because they used to be part of the
Yes.
Baku.
the same people. Honestly, they should just blow up those asteroids. If we can't have them, no one else can have them. And there's no reason 300 people can't be on Voyager.
Your ship, you have a junk shuttle.
That's true. And also, as
What
we
could you-
But its sensor records of the encounter at the station originally are complete. That's one good
guess-
thing about it.
Who wins in a fight between a junk freighter and a mining shuttle?
This small group of people represents 500.
300.
You have to stand up to the bullies or they'll never respect you. Is he really tall, or is Ethan Phillips just short?
Ethan Phillips is pretty short, yeah.
The camera was also pointing out. So,
Ethan Phillips is 5'4".
well, so is Hugh Jackman.
Little man.
He's not that little. He's a little short, but he's fine.
Yeah,
He's
not
chill.
bad.
Hugh Jackman? Did you just say Hugh Jackman?
Mhm.
So
Why did we
after
never get Wolverine
after
played by
making
Ethan
the-
Phillips?
after making the X-Men movies, Hugh Jackman
Huh.
kept the Wolverine uniform, and he went to San Diego Comic-Con in uniform, and somebody stopped him, and he's like, "Nah, dude, too tall." Didn't even realize.
I mean, they got Tom Cruise to play Jack
Yeah.
Reacher, so they can get anyone to play anyone now.
Who is that person who lost a lookalike contest of themselves? Was it like Charlie Chaplin? Some
I think I've heard it happening a couple of times. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Jolly
Ernie
Clark, maybe?
Hudson didn't get the role of doing his own voice on the Ghostbusters
Oh.
cartoon. That went to Arsenio Hall.
What ships from this series are these panels from? Because they're just like random things they put on the walls.
aren't
shows
those panels
ending-
Vulcan?
the show's ending like in 2 episodes, so they were just taking whatever they had in storage.
Actually, no, those look like Starfleet panels.
They look like the panels in
Look,
the
they even have the Elcar's interface.
It looked like they zoomed in on like one tiny bit of it.
Those ones aren't. Those are different.
We were talking about distances in space, and I have a friend who's a pilot, and he's it's very similar in that like getting close to another plane means like you're within 10 meters of that plane. So usually though you have a great deal of well, relatively. And he pointed out something. Cars, the maneuvers most cars make, that's what the Blue Angels do. Or some other specialized Air Force team.
Wait, this was just murder, right?
Why
We
is
just
he
committed
on
murder?
the Delta Flyer? Stupid captain always put herself in danger.
I appreciate Janeway's use of gun here, but this is clearly a crime. But whatever.
Oh, it was just she just blew up a bomb.
Wait, they're gonna blow up the whole asteroid? Oh, just the shield.
What if the ship just drops all the bombs at once when that take the shield offline? Or
Don't worry
come back
about
with
that.
more ships and drop bombs on them?
What I really hope happens is Voyager leaves on the assumption Neelix is going to go back to them, but he can't get through the shield. So he's just
He
stuck.
tries to transport up and they're like, well, where do you think you're going?
They abandoned him.
Yes, I want Neelix to be abandoned in the void of space. Love you, Ethan Phillips.
You put your left foot in.
Listen here, child.
Did he just
You're just a
threaten
rock
that
person
child?
now.
When's the last time anyone here did the hokey pokey?
French class, probably.
Many years ago.
Did you
Sometimes
say
it comes up
French?
at weddings,
Yeah, I mean we did it in French, obviously.
What do you mean,
Oogie
obviously?
boogie. Why would we do it in English in French class?
Why?
That's so cute.
That's not what was asked.
Can you say it in French?
Uh,
Do you speak French?
a little bit. I remember from class.
I've not heard
Je
that.
mets
in French.
mon main droit en avant. Je mets mon main droit en arrière.
See, I don't
Je mets mon
know.
main droit
Some kind of
en
weird dead language he's
avant.
speaking, I'm not sure.
Je vais le... Yeah, le oogie boogie et je tourne. I don't remember
Mais
exactly how
pero origine de Bourgogne.
it goes.
Oh yeah, very convincing accent.
I don't think it's been years since he tucked her in. I'm pretty sure, it was just a couple episodes ago we had the water episode, the water holiday.
I mean, she looks too old to tuck into bed and read stories now. She's like, what, 13?
What she just doesn't realize is that she has just sealed the fate of
14?
Neelix.
Kill him.
Neelix was like,
You know-
I'll stay for the children. And she's like, get out of my room. Get out of here, you space
Janeway's-
rat.
Janeway's the only one who does the reading. Everyone else is sleeping.
Where will funny spaceman go now?
Yeah, we've all been thinking about this, Neelix.
Oh, is the fact that he was trying to intercept the bomb with himself, is that supposed to be repentance for the fact that he ditched his people in that first war?
Yeah.
I think he was just being
He deserted.
selfless. I don't think it was that complicated.
No, he has a lot of survivor's guilt. What I do like also is that they make him a Federation ambassador. So I feel like it's a great cap to the character.
It's the Federation's first little tendril into the Delta Quadrant. You know what the
That
Federation
asteroid would
are
be
like?
the perfect place to set up a Federation Starbucks.
Ah yes, a transwarp conduit, the first of the Federations.
7 was right.
We'll give this asteroid a seat at the Federation Council.
No, but like Neelix doesn't belong in the Alpha Quadrant. He'd be totally.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You know what I mean?
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, like, you know, he's a Delta. He's there to introduce us to the various species of the Delta Quadrant. He has
He
no
doesn't
purpose.
even know these people.
Yeah,
But
he's
in
like met them for a day, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm staying."
in the beginning, his star charts were a big advantage to Voyager's mission.
Yeah, this whole ambassadorship, that's never going to be brought up again in any of the newer shows. It's not going to happen. Neelix is gone.
I think it'd be nice if it was in an episode of Lower Decks. That'd be nice. Nice callback.
Ambassador Neelix?
He gets all hands goodbye.
He has like the perfect temperament to be an ambassador for the Federation. You know, he's just really annoying and
Oh,
annoying
like
and bubbly.
Waxana.
Do you remember the 3 ambassadors that
root
Julian
beer.
and Bashir had to babysit?
Mm-hmm.
The ones
He's
that
got his
were the
special,
worst.
like his special blue jacket on that we've probably seen like once in the whole series. Why is it so wrinkly?
Because it's been in his closet, folded, for years.
He's finally put his pajamas on, for he is going to rest.
As soon as that door shuts behind him, everyone's gonna just breathe a massive sigh of relief.
And you shake it all about.
Oh, he didn't even do the hand thing.
No, actually, that was kind of touching. As lame as the entire concept is, you know, you broke the Vulcan.
No one else is getting that from the Vulcan.
So, it was kind of good looking back. I mean, you know, as long as we're being.
Well, do you remember what he said? If it's the last thing he does, he'll make him dance. I mean, he said it like about multiple things, and I think it was a smile was the first one. And
Well,
then
that
for
took
that
brain
to have
damage
choked
to
him out in
accomplish.
the hologram. He has too much intimate Federation knowledge. They put a micro explosive in his spinal column.
Happy family moment. How about that? We never get that in Star Trek.
Just
It's all
before it
broken
detonates.
families.
All right, Renaissance Man, which I'm going to try to spell on the stream without looking.
Renaissance.
That doesn't help.
It doesn't help. It's
That's
just
how they say it in Britain.
I think-
so it helps.
I
when
think
you
I got
think of
it.
That, when you think of it that way.
Jarings, can you confirm, is that how they say it in Britain?
Renaissance. Yeah, I think
regional.
they don't
You should ask Argos.
accentuate the
he's
A
from-
as much as Renaissance. I think it would be typical.
Argos would be the person to ask. Jarings is American.
Jarings lives in England.
Yeah.
So do I.
Argos is a native.
Got him.
Briton. Jarings
True.
is a
There are
full
multiple people here who can answer the question.
There's too many
Native.
Brits.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of us. We're always there lurking.
That's what
Politely.
it's all about.
Not wanting to make a fuss.
We'll talk about the weather for a while, and then suddenly there's a bunch of colonists. Weird.
Bunch of passive aggressive colonists. Yeah.
We want representation now. Help.
All right, so everybody cue up the final episode, the best episode, Renaissance Man, and press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. The best episode of today, for sure. The
Really
doctor's
like,
allowed to
Let's
sing.
sing along.
No.
100 something days out of the year, some country somewhere is celebrating independence from Great Britain.
Yeah, we just had ours.
Congratulations. Now shut up about it for another year, please.
Never. The tyrant King George has been overthrown.
I hear
Actually, I
this
think he
shit
was
every
fine.
year. Oh, the fear in his eyes.
Can't shoot a hologram.
He would just be like, let me replicate a little something for you, and she just falls over and sleeps for 8 hours.
I mean, as a program, he should be able to volume modulate his voice like without any issues.
Yeah, true. It should feel like he's fully belting it out, but it's just
Yeah.
coming out at 1 decibel.
Yeah.
Mutara class Nebula. Wow, that's a TOS reference. Canon.
Movies reference.
Those old scientists.
It's weird how the Doctor has like went through this phase of being an inanimate program, and then he was like, I really want to be human, and now he's like, man, being a hologram is so cool. I'm like the master race.
I mean, as a human, I can confirm it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being
I wish I
hologram
could.
is way better.
He's trying to get rights for all holograms, but also being like, I am superior. It's not gonna fly too well when he gets back to the Federation.
Reminds me of how the first episode, the first scene with Data, is that the first scene? I think it's the first scene with Data.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first things he said is, I am superior to humans in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why would you open with that?
Well,
trying to win someone over, that's not gonna the best tactic.
the thing about
Can I have
the thing about
rights?
the
I'm better than
Doctor,
you, by the way.
right? The thing about the Doctor is that he could look like anything, and he chooses to look like Robert Picardo.
He can look like anything, as evidenced by this very episode. He's going to look like a lot of things.
What a prescient comment.
It's, maybe us organics, we want to change the way we look based on society, but I feel like if you're a hologram, you're confident with the way you look. You don't have to.
The look
have
doesn't
other people
matter.
see it.
I just want to get rid of all these stupid flesh parts that break down.
Right. That's the.
You want
that's
the comfort
issue.
of metal and steel, I see.
Yes, I want to be more
cold
machine than man.
metal.
I want to be able to wake up and sing on key, no matter what.
If we lived in the 40k universe, Ryan would definitely be part of Adeptus Mechanicus.
This little Skitari
That doesn't
running
mean
around.
anything to me, but yeah, sure, great. I'm in.
They're the ones that replace all their flesh with machine parts.
The flesh is weak.
Yeah, that's
I never
literally
even play robots in
We're
that's
Stellaris.
either-
literally part of their thing. You should play
But you-
Mechanicus.
You might end up as a skull servitor just running around as a mindless machine. You don't want that.
We had a really interesting discussion about servitors the other day. It's not appropriate for this stream though.
Yeah.
We're going to rapidly be able to genetically engineer ourselves and augment ourselves, so we'll be like totally different. We'll be unrecognizable from the way we are now.
Just
Oh,
replace all
China's
my
already-
tubes with titanium.
China's already doing human gene editing. They're just not telling anybody about it.
Oh, hey, Ensign
'Cause they
Void,
were-
you weren't fired. Wow.
They
I mean,
they
I don't know
mentioned
if we should be
Those are
too worried about
90s.
China's capability. They're not very good at that whole biological stuff.
Well, they created COVID, so there's that.
Okay, this is 100% just a date. I can see it coming. I saw
Oh,
it.
he's got the chicken
What's
wings.
with the Hawaiian shirt? I mean, I understand.
He's from
it's the
Hawaii,
90s.
man.
I
Probably.
understand it's
Is
the 90s. We're on vacation.
Like all those
Also-
people in lower decks, they're all from Hawaii, just like he's from Hawaii.
Starfleet has zero professionalism. She's on the job. She's on the clock. You can't call her to have a play date.
Well,
DMV
he did,
man should have
so
just
deal
stabbed
with
him.
it.
Also,
is
that
not
fried
allowed.
chicken looks kind of gross. That is not seasoned at
Yeah,
all.
that's disgusting. But what I'm saying is,
It's
though,
menu item 324. It'll be
It looks
delicious.
cold. It looks unseasoned. it looks soggy.
was
It's
But
in
the
not,
the
potato
middle of-
salad has extra paprika, so it's fine. You just dip it in it and eat it together.
you
she was
dip
in the middle of
chicken in the
something-
potato salad.
really
Yes.
important.
Paprika and potato salad, sure. Yeah.
This is what I don't
Yeah,
understand.
the
Starfleet is-
paprika is not the problem. The problem is dipping the chicken in it.
Yeah, it's properly
No,
breading
I
the
don't think you can
chicken.
dip it.
Look,
That's
it's
a
even
little too thick.
undercooked. Like I saw
He
the
didn't feel. He took a bite and he didn't look like he was
Oh my
enjoying it.
god. Wait. Is that... That's Lieutenant Ayala. I think that's the... Wait, is that Lieutenant Ayala?
Does he not die?
Isn't... I think that's the first thing he's ever said on the show.
I thought he died in like an episode ages ago when
No,
he
he's
went
been
down.
here... No. He never dies. He makes it to the end, man.
Does he?
Lieutenant
Only
Ayala?
to be
Oh, yeah.
assimilated by Borg
Unlike Carrie.
Janeway.
That was... I don't remember him ever having a line before now. He's always just that background guy where I go, oh, look, it's Lieutenant Ayala.
They killed so much of the cast. They were like, we need to use this guy.
Vivaldi's 4 seasons on the show last week. But Star Trek is a great gateway into classical music because you have Berlioz being played in First Contact. You have in Insurrection. What is that? Gilbert and Sullivan, the song that Data sings on the show. So there's really good theater stuff, and this episode is also exemplary at it.
I have questions about this alien culture. I mean, I know this is all a lie because that's actually Robert Picardo. But hypothetically, like, we know that conventional warp travel does damage subspace. We know that for a fact because it's TNG.
I thought they fixed it.
Yeah, kind of, because Voyager now flaps or something. It's...
Yeah. But they also mentioned, though, like a couple of episodes
No, my
ago,
question is, how does this species control thousands of parsecs without warp travel? What do they do?
Yeah, this makes no sense.
Janeway, that's never stopped you before. You love risking the entire ship.
These are clues, though, as to how this is not Janeway, because Janeway would be like, 1% chance, we're doing it.
This isn't the episode where the Doctor becomes a celebrity on a planet?
No, this is the one where the Doctor impersonates the crew. That is Robert Picardo.
This is the Doctor. I mean, basically, both of these people are the Doctor now, like,
Not
in
yet.
a minute.
Later in the episode.
We have to put
It's all the
Chakotay
Doctor.
in a drawer first.
Always has been.
Yeah, this is where the Doctor has the hollow emitter in his boot. Or her
Yes.
boot, in this case.
Because they should have been in the boot all along, so it can just get, like, slapped and shot all the time.
But no, he has to wear it like a backpack, and it's so big size that, like, it's cumbersome. But
like a
like
Ghostbusters backpack.
Your boss is like, hey, I have a hypothetical question for you. Okay, here's your answer. Okay, do it. Like, I thought we were talking hypotheticals.
Don't worry about it. It's physically impossible to eject the warp core anyway.
Yeah, it never works.
This is the second time somebody told B'Elanna to drop everything and just do what I tell you. And it's like, she's very
got stuff
busy.
to do. You want this ship to blow up? Well, maybe you should leave me alone.
Starfleet will, like, drop everything and just take the ship for, like, some personal assignment. I have to rescue my ex-girlfriend's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, I just remembered something about Stargate. And I thought I had comparing it to Star Trek earlier. Which is, in Star Trek, when someone goes utterly insane and starts doing crazy things, everyone just kind of believes them. Like, Captain, I think the universe is collapsing around us and people are ceasing to exist. It's like, I'm on it. We'll fix it. I got your back. Stargate, everyone just says, no, you're crazy. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, it's because
Nobody
in
ever
Star
believes them in
Trek there is a
Stargate.
precedent for it happening a lot, so it's fair enough
There
to
is
be
in
like,
Stargate
oh yeah.
too.
No,
At
it's
least after
true.
the first couple seasons, everything goes crazy there.
When Chakotay's time traveling, it takes him like 2 minutes to convince Janeway that he's really, like, a future first officer and not like a Maquis terrorist.
Everyone's always all in.
I've got a headache, a comment Janeway would never make. She'd just go and order a triple mega coffee and get it over with.
Caffeine cures all headaches.
She should probably go to sickbay and get checked out by the doctor.
Haha.
Funny
And
how
this
you never
begins
see
the
them in the
Doctor's
same place.
assimilation project.
And he's got a point. If someone
Also,
calls
he's
you
a
to sick bay
hologram.
immediately, you've got to assume it's urgent.
Yeah, we never do
Yeah,
that.
Chakotay was just gonna stand there and like tap his foot for 5 minutes while he came down the turbo lifts.
Why did he even need to transport? He could just transfer it
Yeah.
from the house.
Because
From the
he
mobile
had to
emitter, right?
transport the mobile emitter, the physical device.
Okay.
But he could just use the hologram. The
Grid.
But then the emitter's just going to be
holo emitter's
sitting
on the-
there in a hallway.
True.
Be in Janeway's quarters.
Yeah, you won't be able to get it back.
It's weird though how it transports the light that the holo emitter is projecting and not just the holo emitter.
True.
It should just like transport the holo emitter into midair and then the Doctor appears. But
It converts the light to energy. It converts the energy to mass and then back to energy. Instead of usually it's matter to energy, then back to matter.
oh, it should
It's
really
really
been it should
convenient.
have been even faster than the regular transport then.
Yeah, true.
It's really
It was
convenient
funny,
that
though.
whenever anyone's around the Doctor, he never gets a call for someone else. Like, he looks like Janeway and suddenly his combat starts going, Chakotay to the Doctor.
Because he's got his badge on silent.
Are these the what do we call them, butt crack aliens?
These are the Robert Picardo aliens.
Thanks.
But no, yeah, it's the
So
hierarchy.
this plot is like so traumatic, by the way, because like we're gonna give up the warp core and put the ship on an M-class planet. Like, why have you been watching this show for 7 seasons? This is the most ridiculous abuse of your audience. It means we're not going home. We gave up. Which is more realistic.
Which is why we know that something is wrong. That's not actually what's going on.
Yeah.
Is the Doctor monitoring the door chimes? No, he's not.
He's probably monitoring Chakotay.
Hey, Ryan, you suggested...
Oh, I like the computer belay that, because it would have... The computer knows.
No, that was great, because she came in right around the corner.
It's so dark in here. Turn on the lights.
It's a date. That's what you said last episode.
Yeah, darkness is romance.
No,
We know this.
This is a lies and deception, stark contrast, shadowy lighting.
It reminds me of Enterprise. They often do that thing where the room's super dark, but only in one half of it, so everyone's super dramatically lit.
Yeah, that is an Enterprise thing.
Half of everyone's face is in shadow.
You know what I really like about this episode, though? The acting is Robert Picardo. This is Janeway impersonating the Doctor, impersonating her.
Yeah, true.
Because every line of dialogue is really the Doctor. And even like her stance right here, like her eyebrow and the way she drops her hand.
Yeah, it's all little Robert Picardo things.
They all do such a great job. Chakotay does it later.
She's still...
It must have been
still
great
being
fun.
pretty Kate Mulgrew.
Mm-hmm.
Kate Mulgrew talks
but
much
it's like...
slower than Picardo.
Mm-hmm.
It's too like ruthless Kate Mulgrew. She's only like that temporarily usually. She's just like permanently being that way in this episode.
Yeah, she has the Doctor's bedside manner.
Yeah.
I
She's
like the
got
use of the morgue.
less compassion and
good.
humanity than normal. Do you think that actually moved in that scene? And her little like moving out the way thing was real, or it was choreographed?
Yeah, I think it moved.
It reminds me of the stasis, the morgue that Dr. Crusher kept, the Ferengi and the other scientist in, like the Dr. Joe Brill who didn't want to be autopsy.
How are we losing to these people?
Yeah,
They're barely even villains.
But they're packlets, basically.
The dancing doctor wanted to prove that she's good at doing something other than organizing plays and killing people by accident.
She got tennis elbow. Yeah, it's true though. This is kind of embarrassing that we're being befuddled by these.
This
It's
race
like
of
losing
people
to the
who are
Kazon.
unnamed love this. It's Voyager, don't they?
So it's kind of like
Doctor, just let her die. We don't need her.
Star Trek Generations when Lursa and Beator are like monitoring Geordi's visor. So he must be the only engineer in Starfleet who doesn't go to engineering.
I monitored him when I was taking a bath. Where did he even get a bath?
Yeah.
He built it, obviously. He's an engineer.
He was like security officer when the show started.
Not
Yeah.
an unreasonable explanation. Holodeck?
Everybody
Why
has
is there a
audio.
holographic template of Commander Chakotay?
Kind of
Yeah.
creepy.
Has he scanned everyone down to the bone level where they found all those weird ID signatures from 6 months ago? Remember? The one where the doctor goes crazy?
He doesn't go crazy. He just...
Also, that's probably
Oh, okay.
Seven probably uploaded the holographic template of Chakotay, by the way.
The doctor wanted to study every member of the crew on a subatomic level.
Janeway's just seething in that room. Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice at least. They're friends.
There's only 2 of you, like, jeez, oh.
This is a comedy episode because you have 2 kidnappers and one of them is an idiot.
He's also not really even in command because they have to upload all their orders to the computer.
I
Let's see if
mean,
the computer
I'd say
approves.
the one that's in command is the one that's the idiot.
True.
But what happens if they're both idiots?
Blind leading the blind.
Well, you know, it's the one's a pushover, so he's playing the character of being dumb, but clearly he's not dumb. He's just
Yeah, why doesn't he just turn into the ECH and just get blasting? Get the photonic cannon warped up, come on.
Yeah.
It's impervious to sensors, so he should be able to activate it without them noticing.
How have you been following Voyager for months? Well, I guess Voyager just does tend to linger.
The Voyager just like goes, ooh, gas nebula, ooh, planet, ooh, space anomaly, and just
Coffee in
like
that nebula.
You don't have to go to warp to follow Voyager. Just cruise along.
It's the golden retriever of starships, but instead of squirrels, it loves spatial anomalies.
yeah, they detour so much they find crazy things and anomalies and wormholes and get home faster somehow.
So mud bats apparently are like a ultra rich luxury.
Unless you just
Really?
go outside when it's raining.
Just roll around in the grass for a bit.
No, they consider that just wet dirt, but like real quality mud. There's like special mud bats throughout the world where like you pay thousands of dollars to go take a soak.
So how's it different from being wet dirt?
They really will tell you
it's artisanal wet dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
It's
okay.
fun fact that there's one guy who supplies mud to the MLB because they like to put mud on the baseballs. The pitchers put mud on the baseballs to make it more grippy.
Yeah.
And he gets it from like
Pennsylvania.
Like a wetland or whatever.
It's a valley.
It's like a secret where he gets it from. And he digs it up and he
in PA.
He like puts it through cheesecloth.
It's more just the MLB just being nice to him, though. It's not like because he has some secret to mud.
No, it's a one of a kind mud in that region of Pennsylvania.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm
No.
sure there's other
It's
rivers in
just
the world,
mud.
but no.
You can
have
get
to
it
take-
literally anywhere.
You have to take a mud bath to know what you're talking about. There's different kinds of mud.
I mean, I've been in the mud before. I know what it feels like. It's disgusting.
It feels muddy. I'm surprised by how much Vorik is in this episode, because he barely exists as a character.
I think it's a show. Balana is it's Orient Balana.
He's barely
like,
even
it's
had
on.
lines since he assaulted Balana in what, season 2?
Yeah. Well, it's
It was
the doctor
know-
doesn't know where these bioneural gel packs are. Vorik has to tell her.
in Star Trek, people get away with doing really, really bad things, and they're like, "Oh, his neurons were just imbalanced. Whoops!" Like, I know that would fly on our planet. They'd still be in jail for 60 years.
I don't know. You might have to go to New Zealand.
Again, great acting. Balana is playing the doctor, playing her, and she's being. I'm not. She's doing the doctor's staccato.
I don't know. All these.
I hear
I
Robert
don't know.
Picardo in my head with this. A pregnant
In
woman
general,
and
these
food?
people playing as Robert Picardo, I'm not totally sold.
No, I'm totally sold. I love it. It's even funnier than when Seven did it last season.
When Seven is pretending
Jerry
to be
Ryan?
Robert Picardo, she's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, she is.
All these other people, Robert Beltran, Dawson, they're okay. They feel too much like themselves.
No, this
No.
feels really like way more wooden and clunky than usual for Balana.
Yeah, the way she said "sweetheart," and I was like,
She's like fully pronouncing words and stuff, which is not normal.
she's disgusted the way Picardo would be.
You just got like a close up of Tom that the doctor really didn't want.
Ew.
Hey, I mean, it's like, you ever wonder why people close their eyes when they're kissing? It's, well, try opening your eyes when you're kissing and you'll see why.
It's very convenient that she got that call right after Tom left.
Yeah, true. Ryan, I know it's been 4.
Oh my god, the call is coming from inside the house.
At least that can't happen now because people are starting to not use landline telephones anymore. So they'll be like, the call is coming from your local cell tower.
Does anybody here still have a landline?
It's a VoIP landline, so it's not a landline.
I have a landline at work.
It's an
Doesn't
internet.
count.
No,
At home.
even my landline at work is a VoIP landline.
What if the VoIP goes down?
If the internet goes down, there's no phone. So it's like not really a phone.
I hope the internet never goes down intermittently. That was one of the good things about old style landlines, is when the
God.
power went off, you still had it.
Yes, that's the amazing thing. They still.
Well, I have
still
battery
phone.
backup, so power goes
No,
out. I still
that's-
have internet and phone.
The fact
No.
that you lose communication's the best part. You get to just like hang out on your own. People leave you alone.
No, you're like a dinosaur when you don't have internet.
What if it's a power cut and you need to be told the call is coming from in the house?
And
Um,
that's why I have my battery backup motion detectors. They'll tell me exactly where things are in the house.
That would be horrifying if you could like detect it getting closer and closer. I hope you have a method of dispatching an intruder in that case.
I have, hang on, just to my left in my closet, so I have to move some stuff around. But I have a Gladius.
That seems like that's going to take too much effort. You should really have a
You
gun.
just
Oh, I'm
Stabius.
sorry I don't have a gun wall.
The hardest decision for me would be what to shoot them with if somebody broke in. I'd be like, what?
Surely the
gun
most
am I
terrifying thing you
gonna
could hear
take
is
as
like a shotgun
evidence?
being cocked.
Yeah, that's a lot of people say that. I think any type of gun, you hear any type of gun getting charged, you're gonna want to get out of there.
I think the shotgun's scariest because they don't really even need to be aiming properly. They can just kind of shoot your way and that's it.
Well, that's a common misconception. Like within like 40, 50 feet. The spread is only like 4 or 5 inches in diameter. So
Better
even
than like
then,
0.5, right?
The long barrel of
Right.
a shotgun means the bullet has a much more propelled.
Oh, come on. We didn't even get the classic glass break through the... Come on.
Then why is it for the first time that he
Cheaper.
can just phase through things? Like, what? Does he just turn it on and off at will?
He's not
He
even
does,
really
actually.
running,
We had
by
an
the way.
episode about that. Remember? He
He's doing
slapped
like
Tom.
a
Did it?
brisk jog.
He slapped Tom and then went, okay, now you try to slap me. And he just went through.
You know, not this
Jeez.
bit, but the bit where he like runs up the wall is really funny, but also pretty impressive.
Wide
Yes.
beam,
All right.
shoot everyone.
Why didn't they all charge him?
Hmm.
Because there's like 50 of him and one of you.
Yeah, go full iRobot. Just riot.
Yeah, right. Which one is it? All of them.
Just shoot.
I guess this is why the Doctor's a superior form of life. Except he can't survive without hollow emitters, so not really.
Oh yeah, I remember in 2001 on 9/11, the Twin Towers had the cell phone towers on top of them. So very few people had internet. There was almost no cell phone reception. There was almost no television except from Jersey.
Only they'd had landlines.
Yes, and all we had was landlines. So
I mean, it was
They are-
2001, so that was a lot of people that had landlines.
All the hollow emitters went
yeah, but a lot of people
offline.
had cell phones too. So cell phones were out because
Yeah, but that wasn't. I mean, that makes it sound a lot more dire than it would be now. Than it was
Alana,
at
do
the
you have a
time. Because,
gun?
like,
I'm just saying in the future it'll be worse because
yeah, certainly if it happened again now, it would be much worse.
Yeah, everyone would be like, I can't load Reddit. Ah!
no, you don't have any way of getting into emergency touch with your loved ones who might work at the area.
Ollie, just thread that you're safe on threads. What's
Yeah.
what's
So
the
can you
word
guys hear me
for
right
it?
now?
Announce.
No, you're silent.
Okay, cool.
Unrealistic, the core's ejecting properly.
Impossible.
All right.
Yes.
Also, there's a backup core anyway.
Argos. You're saying this is the scariest sound you hear?
That is wildly irresponsible.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You can't just like pull out a gun and start playing with it. It's a gun.
If there's nothing in it, then you can.
Oh no, it was.
There's something in it.
I'm not going to start swinging my sword around to make swoosh noises.
Do it really fast, like, you know, where you do it, like, you spin it around one side, then the other. Like,
I'll attach like a Wii remote strap to it so I can swing it better.
Please don't.
yeah, there we go. Look at that.
Oh,
No one
wow.
else in the crew can do that.
Balana just walked on the wall and did the greatest.
That
Yeah,
even looked
baby's,
pretty
like,
good.
The
That,
baby's just like rolling around, like, you know that.
that wasn't even
roller
like
coaster.
blurry 160p CGI. That actually looked fine.
Yeah, that was fine.
Do you
for the
think?
time.
Never mind.
Why
think
does the
what?
Delta Flyer
Just
have
wire work.
Buttons
dials?
And
Oh, I was just gonna say, do you think there was a
Needles.
holographic baby inside holographic Balana?
Mhm.
Oh jeez. Is she pregnant right now?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
she has the Messiah.
She's got this special coat on that has a pocket that she can put her tools in it that she never had before.
There we go.
She's like, yes, child's play, come here. I'm a scientist.
I really
I'm
hope she
the-
makes it explode.
The science.
That
officer.
would, that would have been smart because it may have disrupted the force field.
We look for things to make us go.
Oh, he's just Neelix. He's a junk trader.
It was covered in effluence, but I cleaned it all up and What even is that?
Quarter of the profits. You only getting a third as much as your companion. No, she's trying to make a good deal. He's gonna get the
This guy,
cash.
this guy makes a big show of being the boss, but he's like never around to do anything.
Yeah.
Where does he even go? It looks like the ship is only 2 rooms.
Yeah.
He just like went to the toilet and sat in there, so he didn't have to be with the other guy.
Yeah, no, but this guy is a really terrible hostage taker.
Okay, that I appreciate. Don't bother tricking him, just shoot him. Doctor, come on, man. You're not even
He's
trying.
such a pushover.
I mean, he's being blackmailed with the captain's life, so.
Yeah, but the captain's like, don't do it at every stage, and he's like, nope, doing it.
Would they actually kill the captain? I don't think they have it in them.
Wow, what a twist. Who could have seen this coming, Doctor? Neither of you are valuable. Well, I guess they can sell the Doctor.
He's a pretty good level 1 doctor.
He can work on level blue.
Why can people adjust his program after they put safeguards against this so they can happen again
They-
after the equinox?
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I
apparently
guess
they
They
did.
talked about it, but they never.
We'll do it
shut
at
it
some
on
I mean,
point. Yeah.
Starfleet doesn't believe in cybersecurity in general, so I guess they tried, but it just didn't work. None of them know
They don't
how.
have like Norton antivirus in this universe.
Oh God, Norton and
Just
McAfee are
stores all the
viruses on their own.
viruses. You know, that would be like the best weapon against an alien species is like all the viruses that have been trying to infect your holomatrix are just in a folder, and then when they are like, oh, what's this? It destroys their entire ship. They just
Yeah.
put a badgie inside your mainframe, and then all bets are off.
Worked against the backlist.
Just give them a copy of Memory Hungry Chrome that opens a billion tabs to cat videos.
They've worked on it
What happened to
and
our
just
fusion
crash their-
generators? Why are the
crash their
lights
system.
off?
because it's a secret mission.
But it's a date.
The show got a
Yeah.
lot more dramatic in the last 3 episodes of the show. You need stark lighting to project that.
Oh, very good, Tuvok.
Oh, they don't have a warp core. That's why the lights aren't on. They're
Yeah,
on
but
low
they
power
have-
mode.
Did you miss that detail?
Sorry. Sorry.
They have fusion generators.
No. Oh, here we go.
Blue Danube waltz.
Johann Sebastian Strauss wrote the Blue Danube.
The Doctor is taunting us. He's mocking us.
The Danube River runs all through Europe, and it connects basically every country. And,
the Danube, famously from that song that Lore was singing. The sons of the prophets were brave men and bold, and something about the Danube flows.
The sons of the prophet were brave men and bold and quite unaccustomed to fear. But the bravest of these, or so I'm told, was Abdul Bulbul Amir.
Thank you, both of you.
Good old Abdul.
I
There
mean,
were
it's an
heroes
okay
aplenty,
name. Abdul Abul Amir.
no
It's all right.
stranger to fame in the ranks that were led by the Tsar.
But the bravest of these was a man by the name of Ivan Skavinsky Skavar. Yes.
It's just made up names.
I think it's most famous, but
But the Blue Danube is a certain section of the Danube River that's in like Austria or Hungary. But very important to Europe. Europe is very well connected through its river systems. Probably why it advanced so well through human history. That and Christianity.
Why is it always so easy to reconfigure this? Like they're not even using a toothpick anymore. You just
It's like
pressing
an Apple
buttons.
Watch. Yeah, so you just turn the little crown.
It shows how many steps he's done this day and stuff.
I'm trying to look up lyrics to Abdul Bulbul Amir. Apparently, there's like a million versions of it. They're all wildly
Yeah.
different.
You want the Frank Kermit version?
Yeah, that's the one that I
Lore sings.
memorized some time ago.
Ryan, are we allowed to sing on the penultimate episode of
No.
Voyager?
I think
Exceptions
it's
were
the-
made only for Enterprise.
We can sing that song that you sing when the Borg gets infected. You know, that one.
What song is that?
I don't know, just choose one. I'm trying to make an excuse so we could sing.
Oh, look. Thank you.
Does the hierarchy approve of this plan?
His program is so big that you can't even back it up. There's no
there's a
backup.
tomb rises up.
Well, we had a whole episode about the Doctor's backup module being discovered on another planet 700 years in the future.
There's a tomb rises
True.
up where the blue Danube flows. Engraved there in characters clear. Blah blah blah. Abdullah Bulbul Amir.
Abdul Bulbul Amir.
So that yeah, the blue Danube is where Abdul's crypt is. It's on the bank
What
of the
would they
river.
put it underwater for?
It's on the bank of the river.
Yeah, but rivers wander, don't they?
Meander is the word you're looking for.
Okay, geologist.
Well, it's a synonym, so I mean, he could use either one.
It forms an oxbow when it meanders, and then it changes back to like a different shape, more efficient shape.
Yes, the classic shake yourself up and down, side to side.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes again. Notice how they didn't move in the background. Yeah.
They're used to it.
Wait, what
The
species is the
Voyager
guy that apparently was threatening them?
The
fake
doctor,
species?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are the species? What are these guys? Because I'm sure they get mentioned in the Void when they team up with them and spy on people.
They don't have an exact species name. They're just called the hierarchy.
cute. Like teddy bear cute.
Rocks.
Hugh is definitely the name.
I don't think their species has a name. I don't think we ever said. I mean, it might be in a book, I guess, but
Used gun on man.
so the fake species are called the Recall.
I don't recall.
They were invented just for this episode.
They did mention that name at least once.
Don't you think during all this, a species nearby might have been like, "Ooh, free warp core," and just like swooped in and taken it?
Maybe the Recall. 1,000 teraquads, yes. I do like how Star Trek just makes up units like that so they don't have to actually justify any of it.
No.
Yeah.
No. That makes total sense. Petaflops and all that. Because I remember when I first heard about a terabyte, this was around
But a quad isn't a real unit of measurements. They're not committing to any real numbers.
Right. We've heard of gigaquads before, so they are consistent about it being a unit of data.
So the first time I heard terabyte, 1,000 gigabytes. You know, we still had dial-up back then. I thought there was no way you'd ever be able to fill up a terabyte hard drive, just because I'm downloading stuff at 56 kbps. Like I wouldn't live long enough to fill up a terabyte of hard drive, and now I have 10 terabytes filled up.
I remember playing Quake World on dial-up, and once you get sick of like the built-in Quake maps, and you wanted to play like real multiplayer maps that people made, you go to a server that has custom maps, and the map might be like 8 megabytes. It might take like 30-40 minutes to download one map from the server, and then the map changes, and you have to download the next map. You gotta go through the whole server rotation before you can actually play a game. Hours later, anxiously waiting to
this
play.
Is really awkward. You're not supposed to declare your undying love to your coworkers, and then
You can when you're
pretend like nothing
dying.
happens.
So if
This is weird though,
it's
because
not even taking it seriously, she doesn't
he's
care.
always had a thing for Seven, and it's like, in the next episode, Endgame, he even shows up at the reunion party with like a skinny blonde, and I'm like,
You think the Doctor would learn his lesson? He constantly gets a little bit more arrogant over time, and then massively embarrasses himself, and then he just does it all over again.
Maybe his program's not as adaptive as he would like us to believe.
I just want to say,
Netherlands.
Ryan.
He started this episode being like, I'm so superior.
I just want to say, Ryan, you've done me an invaluable service by doing your watch along. Argos, we've had some amazing conversations together.
What are you dying?
Lobo.
We're not done with this thing.
You quite love me, friends.
Don't forget me, guys.
Oh, he's just
What's
a
with this-
shadow
why-
of himself now.
Is that a metaphor in my Star Trek? How does he even cast shadows? He doesn't exist. He's made of light.
He's the opposite of Shadow. What?
I remember telling in high school my best friend that I loved him, and fortunately the friendship survived that, because that could have been it.
Really? Come on, that's barely even a punishment. He stole the warp core.
Oh. Oh, it's going to be dark lighting again, I can tell. I mean, at this point you should be like, well, he's disgraced himself again. Kind of feel sorry for him. Come on, let's have a drink.
No opera.
No,
Oh, that's how we should punish him. We should delete his opera subroutines.
You'll never
Yeah.
even know what opera is.
Then he'll get to discover it again for the first time.
No, we specifically program him so now he hates it.
He can't. He still loves it, but he can't sing anymore.
Do you think if your memory got erased and you had to basically start from scratch, would you like the same things you liked before, or would you like all new and different things?
That's hard to know.
It's very dependent on environment and context, so probably not.
Yeah. And I've realized I
Nostalgia's
still
big.
hate Wannabe, even though I started hating it in middle school. I don't hate everything I hated in middle school, but I still hate that song. So
I mean, we've seen this with Tuvok. He's like, I like desserts. I want to eat all the cake, and then he goes back to having his crappy tea again.
As great as that episode was, I think they overdid the Doctor for the last season. Every other episode was about him.
No,
and that's
it's
actually
impossible to
But he's
overdo the
great.
Doctor. He's the best
He's great.
character.
yeah.
I think it's because he's the only character that could have development properly without, sidetracking things. Everyone else has to be like the same person in this last season.
Oh no, B'Elanna's upset about her childhood again.
I don't know.
God, we need Star Trek Picardo.
Yeah.
We need it.
Star Trek Picardo.
Yeah,
And,
man, haven't you seen the
we-
poster?
No.
Let me Google Star Trek Picardo poster. It's a thing.
Oh, I want it to be. Please.
I just finished watching Prodigy. Janeway makes a way better emergency command hologram.
Everyone just finished watching Prodigy.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I haven't seen it yet. Is it good?
No, he means the show is canceled.
Lol. Wait, she's an EMH? Or is it an ECH?
She is a hologram.
Janeway
Yeah.
is a hologram.
She's a
Wait.
tutor.
All right.
She's a training
She's an
Right,
emergency
Hologram.
teaching hologram.
What? Makes no sense.
She's the hologram, basically the doctor with the EC.
What's the thing under his hand? It looks like a little strip of LEDs. Maybe that's like how he's there because they're projecting him with it or something.
Anyway, so that is today's episodes. Next week is the end of Voyager, the season finale, Endgame. The series finale, Endgame. And
Wow.
Dig it on
Then we
massive
start
violations of
TOS.
the Temporal Prime Directive,
Dig it
but you know,
dig it.
it's how Star Trek goes. But this
What
stream's
comes
done.
next?
Thank you, Chad.
After that, we're going to have 1 week off. And then we're going to start TOS. And I'm going to have to start proceeding every stream with a disclaimer about today's episodes are going to be horribly aggressive, but it was the 60s.
Yeah. Good
That was
time.
80 years ago now. No, wait, 60. I can't count.
Content warning for racism, sexism, homophobia.
I don't.
Etc.
Was TOS homophobic? I don't remember them mentioning same-sex
Yeah.
couples at all. I don't think it was a thing.
Yeah.
Well, it was a thing, but it wasn't a thing within Star Trek.
Would have been too
Right.
spicy for TV at that point, probably.
I mean, Stonewall
Definitely a lot of
hadn't
sexism,
happened,
though.
Like, or at least had it happened quite yet when Star Trek debuted? I'm not sure the years exactly.
What hadn't?
What?
Stonewall, the Stonewall riot.
That was 69, and Star Trek was also 69. So
Star Trek was 1968.
yeah.
Was Star Trek done? Star Trek was done by 69.
Stonewall wasn't
I think it
founded
ran
until,
from.
like the
Didn't
late
Star Trek
80s.
run 65 to 68?
The first season of Star Trek, originally created by Gene Roddenberry, premiered on NBC on September 8th, 1966.
Oh, thank you.
66.
So 69 is when it ended. Okay.
So
That was the
66,
cage.
67, 68.
And it ran through June 3rd, 1969. Stonewall Riots was June 28th, 1969, so a few weeks after the end of Star Trek.
Yeah.
And we also landed on the
Really?
the
We
same
figured out the cause.
Radar yet?
Take your rent. Take your check.
The circuses could no longer keep the masses placated. Star Trek was over.
Yeah.
The weak shall perish.
The weak shall
We
perish.
shall perish.
Where's the end stream button? Where did I put it? I moved my windows around.
Quick